Honestly, for me personally, the beginning after the end is better than Mushoku Tensei in my opinion. Wait, just hear me out. Today, I want to talk about two massively popular reincarnation fantasy series, Mushoku Tensei and The Beginning After the End. Now, before we dive in, let me just say up front, this is just my opinion. We all have different tastes when it comes to stories, and that's totally fine. And I don't anyone attacking me because of this, but personally, The Beginning After the End really stands out as the better story. So, let me break down why I think so. Let's start with the story lore of these two stories. First, The Beginning After the End. This story follows Arthur Leywin, a reincarnated king who's dropped into this incredible magical world. Right from the start, Arthur is strong, but what makes him so interesting is his drive to protect the people he loves and live a more fulfilling life. He's mature, he's capable, and he doesn't shy away from taking responsibility. That's the kind of protagonist I can root for. Plus, the pacing is amazing. You've got epic battles, intriguing mysteries, and meaningful character growth all rolled into one. The story keeps moving forward, and you never feel like you're stuck waiting for something to happen. Now, let's talk about Mushoku Tensei. I know this series has a lot of fans, and I can see why. It has rich world building and some really emotional moments. So in this story, Rudeus, the protagonist of Mushoku Tensei, he's reincarnated into a magical world too. But unlike Arthur, he's coming from a place of deep regret. As a 34-year-old NEET retaining memories of his past life, he vows to live without regret and embarks on a journey of growth, mastering magic and swordsmanship while forming meaningful relationships. As he navigates this vibrant world of diverse races, powerful magic, and divine intrigues, Rudeus confronts his personal flaws and becomes entangled in conflicts between higher beings like the human god and dragon god. Honestly, that's an interesting concept, and I was digging it, but damn, this guy's personality can be, well, kind of hard to connect with. Rudeus' personality is deeply, how can I say this? Let me just say colorful. Which I get is the part of his charm, but some of his actions, especially the more inappropriate ones, just felt really uncomfortable for me to watch. And someone who reads light novels told me that he grows over it in time. But I just watched season 3 and he is still the same. For me, it was hard to stick with a character who starts out so selfish and immature and he's still the same even now. It's not that I don't appreciate character development, but I personally prefer protagonists like Arthur, who feel a bit more balanced and likable from the beginning. That's one of the big reasons I prefer The Beginning After the End. Arthur is flawed too. He's not perfect, but he's someone you can admire and aspire to be like. He's proactive, he's responsible, and his growth as a leader feels natural and inspiring. It doesn't feel like he's there for the sake of the plot. It's so much easier for me to stay invested in his journey. Another thing I struggled with in Mushoku Tensei is the pacing. The story really takes its time, focusing on slice-of-life moments and Rudeus' relationships with minors. I know that he has been reborn as a child again, but don't forget that both Arthur and Rudeus, they are still adult in a child body. That's why you can see Rudeus taking to Hitagami. You can see his soul form as of a 34-year-old man. And this can be enjoyable for some. I often found myself waiting for the story to pick up. It's a slow burn, and sometimes it felt like things were dragging on without much happening. On the other hand, TBAE keeps things moving. There's always something exciting going on, whether it's an epic fight scene, a new mystery being revealed, or Arthur tackling some major challenge. I never felt bored while reading it. And not that TBAE does not focus on slice-of-life moments and Arthur relationships with minors, but it shows Arthur having feelings for Tessia, but he expresses that is not allowed to feel that way about her. He does not force himself on her to do anything immoral, and that's a big deal for me. Now, I know a lot of people love Mushoku Tensei for its world building, and I do think the world is really well thought out. But for me, it often felt more focused on the smaller, slice-of-life details than the grand adventure I was looking for. TBAE gives me that sense of epic scale. It feels like you're part of something huge, and that just makes it so much more exciting. So, to sum it up, The Beginning After the End just checks more boxes for me. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and led by a protagonist I genuinely enjoy following. Arthur Leywin is someone I can admire. He's strong, responsible, and constantly striving to do better, and that's the kind of hero I love. Meanwhile, Mushoku Tensei just wasn't my cup of tea. Rudeus's flaws, the slower pacing, and some of the uncomfortable moments in the story made it harder for me to connect with. Again, that's just my opinion. If you're a fan of Mushoku Tensei, I totally respect that. It's just that TBAE aligns more with what I personally look for in a story. At the end of the day, it's all about what resonates with you. Some people love the introspective nature of Mushoku Tensei, and that's great. But for me, the beginning after the end delivers a more engaging and inspiring experience. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Are you more of a TBAE fan, or do you prefer Mushoku Tensei? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.